You will build more wealth in the few years after you hit $100,000 than in all the years it took you to get there, with the same paycheck and the same savings rate. The first 100 grand might take you 7 years of grinding. The next one comes faster, in about 4 years. The one after that, faster still. Today I'll show you exactly where that line flips, why it flips, and how to reach it sooner. Verified to the dollar. There's a reason your net worth barely moves for years, and then suddenly won't stop. Meet Ryan. He is 28, he earns a normal salary, and he has decided he is finally going to build some wealth. Nothing about Ryan is exceptional. He does not have a windfall coming. He is not about to inherit anything. He cannot pick winning stocks, and he does not want to. Ryan is going to do the most ordinary thing in personal finance. Save a fixed amount every month and put it into the market. And over the course of this video, we are going to follow him from a net worth of 0 all the way to $1 million, and watch something strange happen to the speed of his money along the way. Because here's the thing almost nobody tells you at the start. Most people believe that once you cross some magic threshold, doors open. Better investments, secret opportunities. The kind of deals rich people supposedly get that the rest of us do not. And that is the story people reach for to explain why the rich get richer. But it is mostly wrong. Ryan is not going to get access to anything special at $100,000. He is going to hold the exact same boring index fund the whole way up, and his net worth is still going to accelerate. Two forces are going to do that work for him, and neither has anything to do with exclusive access. The first is the scale of his capital. The second is compounding. Let me show you both to the dollar. Start with scale. Forget compounding for a second. Forget time entirely. I want to show you what the same percentage return does at 3 different sizes over a single year. Say Ryan invests $1,000 and earns 10%. After 1 year, he has $1,100. He made $100. Nice, but it will not change his life. Now say Ryan has $10,000 invested at that same 10%. Same fund, same risk, same 12 months. After a year, he has $11,000. He made $1,000. Same percentage, 10 times the profit, because the base was 10 times bigger. Now give him $100,000 at that same 10%. After 1 year, $110,000. He made $10,000. Same return, same market, the same amount of effort, which is to say, none because the money did the work. But the profit went from $100 to $10,000. A 100-fold difference in dollars driven entirely by the size of the pile. This is what people are clumsily pointing at when they say money makes money. A percentage is just a percentage. But a percentage of a large number is a large number. The $100 investor and the $100,000 investor can stand side by side, take exactly the same 10%, and walk away with lives that look nothing alike. Nobody handed the second person a better deal. They simply had more capital for the same deal to act on. And notice what that means for Ryan's journey. Every dollar he manages to accumulate makes every future percentage worth more in absolute terms. The bigger his base gets, the harder each point of return hits. Scale is not a reward you unlock. It is a multiplier that has been sitting there the whole time, waiting for you to feed it. Scale is the first force. The second is the one often called the 8th wonder of the world. And for once the hype is earned. Compound interest. Here is the distinction that matters. Simple interest is when you earn a return only on the money you put in. Compound interest is when you also earn a return on the returns. Money making money and then that new money making money too. It sounds like a small technicality. Over time, it is the entire game. Let me make it concrete and let me take contributions off the table completely so you can see the effect in isolation. Suppose Ryan has $100,000 sitting in the market at 8%, and he never adds another cent. In year 1, that money earns $8,000, and his balance becomes $108,000. Fair enough. But in year 2, he does not earn 8% on $100,000 anymore. He earns it on $108,000. So the second year pays him $8,640. The third year, he is earning on $116,640, so it pays $9,331. Year 4, $10,078. Year 5, $10,883. Look at what just happened without Ryan lifting a finger. The interest itself grew from $8,000 to nearly $11,000 a year, purely because previous interest stayed in the account and started earning. He added nothing. The growth grew itself. That is the piece people miss. In the early days, your balance climbs mostly because you keep shoveling money in. But at some point, the interest your money throws off becomes larger than the contributions you make. And from that moment on, the account is being lifted by its own weight. Money working for you, then money working for that money, then money working for that. It is slow to start, and then it is relentless. Combine it with scale, a bigger and bigger base for that compounding to act on, and you get the effect this whole video is about. So let us put real numbers to Ryan and watch the two forces work together. Ryan earns $60,000 a year and he commits to investing 20% of it. That is $12,000 a year or $1,000 a month, going into a plain index fund returning 8% a year on average. No stock picking, no raises in this model, no tricks. Just $1,000 a month, every month for as long as it takes. Watch what happens to the time between each $100,000. The first $100,000 takes Ryan nearly 7 years. 6 years and 5 months to be exact. That is a long, grinding stretch, and we will come back to just how grinding it is. But then something shifts. The second $100,000, going from $100,000 to $200,000, does not take another 7 years. It takes about 4. Getting from $200,000 to $300,000 takes just over 3 years. From $300,000 to $400,000, about 2.5. Every single rung of the ladder is shorter than the one below it, and Ryan has not changed a thing. Same $1,000 a month, same fund, same 8%. By the way, this is exactly the kind of thing you can run for your own salary and savings rate. I built a calculator for this video that does precisely that. You put in what you can invest each month and the return you expect, and it tells you how long each $100,000 will take you. It lives with the membership, and I will say more about that later. Now, why does the ladder shrink like this? Because both forces are compounding on each other. As Ryan's base grows, scale makes every 8% worth more in raw dollars, and as his interest starts earning interest, compounding adds a second engine on top. Early on, Ryan is doing almost all the lifting himself. Later, the money does more of it than he does, but before we get to the good part, the part where it takes off, we have to be honest about the part almost everyone quits during. Here is the uncomfortable truth buried in that ladder. The first $100,000 is, by a wide margin, the hardest. Nearly 7 of Ryan's years go into that first rung alone. More time than the next 200,000 combined. And during those years, compounding is barely helping. His base is small, so scale does almost nothing. The interest is a trickle. Practically all of the progress in that stretch comes from Ryan's own paycheck, shoveled in month after month after month. That is why so much financial advice aimed at beginners feels like pure deprivation. Cut the daily coffee, cancel the subscriptions, pack your lunch. Optimize every last dollar. It can feel joyless and slow, and worse, it can feel pointless, because at this stage, every small win really does look like it is barely moving the needle. The math tells you why it feels that way. It is because it genuinely is slow at the start. You are the engine. Compounding has not shown up to help yet, and this is exactly where most people give up. Consider Josh. Josh started at the very same time as Ryan, with the same salary, the same $1,000 a month, the same fund. For the first few years, they moved in lockstep. But somewhere in year 3 or 4, his balance still well short of that first 100,000, the finish line nowhere in sight, the monthly sacrifice grinding on with nothing exciting to show for it. Josh looked at his account, decided this clearly was not working, and stopped. He did not crash out. He did not make a dramatic mistake. He just quietly concluded the juice was not worth the squeeze and redirected that $1,000 a month toward things he could enjoy now. You cannot really blame Josh. He quit during the only part of the journey where the effort is high and the reward is invisible. What he could not see, what almost nobody can see from inside the grind, is that he was quitting right before the part where it all changes. The slow years are not the deal. They are the toll you pay to reach the fast years. Ryan kept paying it. Josh stopped one rung short of the payoff. Let me show you exactly what Josh walked away from. Ryan crosses $100,000 in year 6, and from here, the whole character of his money changes. Remember, the second 100,000 takes about 4 years, not 7. The third takes just over 3. But keep going down the ladder because it keeps shrinking, and this is the part Josh never saw. From $400,000 to $500,000 takes Ryan about 2 years. From $500,000 to $600,000 under 2. The next 100,000 about a year and a half. Then roughly 16 months. Then 14. Each rung shorter than the last. And here's the moment that should stay with you. When Ryan's balance is sitting at $1 million, still contributing that same ordinary $1,000 a month, an additional $100,000 arrives in about a year, 12 and a half months to be precise. Sit with that. The first 100,000 cost him nearly 7 years of discipline. The 100,000 after his first million costs him about 12 months, and most of it is not even his contribution anymore. His $1,000 a month adds $12,000 over that year. The other roughly $88,000 is the money working on its own. Ryan has quietly become a passenger in his own wealth building. The engine he spent 7 years hand cranking is now running itself. That is the line flipping. It is not a threshold someone lets you through, it is the point where compounding overtakes contribution, where the returns on what you have already saved become bigger than what you can shovel in from your salary. Before that line, you carry the money. After it, the money carries you. And it reframes the whole grind, does it not? All those slow, deprived, seemingly pointless early years were not the tax on building wealth. They were the price of admission to a machine that, once built, runs on its own. Ryan reaches $1 million around his 26th year of investing. Josh, who stopped one rung in, is still more or less where he left off. Same start, same salary, same fund. The only variable was who kept feeding the machine long enough to let it wake up. So if you are watching this without $100,000 saved, most people are, the question becomes practical. What actually moves the needle? There are 2 levers, and the first is time. Time is the input compounding cares about most, and it rewards you in a deeply lopsided way. The real gains do not come at the beginning of the journey. They come at the very end. Let me show you with Ryan's numbers. If Ryan invests his $1,000 a month at 8% for 23 years, he ends with about $788,000. Now watch what 4 more years does. Investing for 27 years instead of 23? Just 4 additional years of the same $1,000 a month takes him to over $1.14 million. Those 4 years added roughly $350,000. That is more than half of what the first 23 years produced, created in a fraction of the time, purely because those final years act on the largest base Ryan ever had. This is why every single day you delay costs more than it looks like it should. You are not just missing 1 month's contribution. You are amputating one of those precious late years, the ones that do the heaviest lifting, off the far end of your timeline, where each year is worth the most. Time is not a background condition. It is the most valuable asset you have, and it is the one asset you can never buy back. Which leads to the single most important thing you can do if you do not have that first $100,000 yet. Start with whatever you have, and start now. Not when you have read 3 more books. Not when the market feels safe. Not when you can invest some impressive round number. The snowball only starts rolling once you push it. And a small snowball rolling today will flatten a large one you never got around to starting. With more time in front of it, even a modest amount begins to gather its own weight. Principal earning interest, interest earning interest, until the thing is rolling downhill faster than you could ever have pushed it by hand. The second lever is the amount you invest. And notice I did not say the return you chase. This distinction is where a lot of people quietly waste years. It is tempting to pour your energy into squeezing a better return out of the market, hunting for the fund that beats the average by a point or two, switching platforms, timing your entries, chasing an extra 1 or 2%. And yes, a couple of extra points helps, but it is largely outside your control, and it is almost never where the biggest gains actually live. Let me prove it with Ryan's numbers over 30 years. Ryan investing $1,000 a month at 8% for 30 years ends with about $1.49 million. Suppose he manages to find an extra 2%, a genuinely hard thing to do reliably, and earns 10% instead. He ends with about $2.26 million. That extra 2% was worth around $770,000. Not nothing. Worth chasing if it were free. But it is not free, and it is not reliable. Now, instead of chasing return, suppose Ryan simply doubles what he invests, $2,000 a month rather than $1,000 at the same ordinary 8%. He ends with about $2.98 million. Doubling his contribution was worth nearly $1.5 million, and it beat the extra 2% of return by more than $720,000. Read that again because it inverts where most people put their effort. The boring lever you fully control, how much you feed in, outperformed the exciting lever you barely control, the rate of return. And the amount you can invest is not capped by the stock market. It is driven by what you earn and keep in your day-to-day life. Negotiating your salary, investing alongside a partner, building a second stream of income. That is the lever with the highest ceiling, and it is the one sitting in your own hands. So here is the honest strategy, and it is less glamorous than stock tips. Focus most of your energy on earning more and feeding more into the machine, while treating the market as the simple, boring place you park that money to multiply. Start early enough to learn the habit, and let compounding wake up. Then, when real money does arrive later in life, you will not be starting from zero. You will be dropping it onto a snowball that is already rolling. Step back and look at the whole picture because the two levers are not separate. They multiply each other. Ryan's entire journey from zero to a million ran on two forces he never had to be clever about. The scale of his capital, which made every percentage worth more as his base grew, and compounding, which let his returns start earning returns of their own. The first $100,000 was slow because both forces were still small. He was the engine. Every rung after that was faster because the machine was increasingly running itself, until past a million, it was adding $100,000 a year while Ryan mostly watched. Josh had access to that exact same machine. Same salary, same fund, same math. The only thing that separated them was that Ryan kept feeding it through the grinding, invisible early years, and Josh did not. There was no secret Ryan unlocked. There was only a slow beginning he refused to quit during. So if you take one thing from all of this, the difficulty is front-loaded, and the reward is back-loaded. And that mismatch is exactly why most people never make it. The person who wins is not the one who found a better investment. It is the one who understood that the first $100,000 is supposed to feel slow, kept going anyway, and let time and contribution do what they were always going to do. If you want to see exactly where your own line flips, I built the calculator for this video to do it. You put in what you can invest each month and the return you expect, and it maps out how long each 100,000 will take you. Your first, your second, all the way up, so the ladder stops being an abstract idea and becomes your actual timeline. It sits inside the membership vault alongside every other tool I have built for videos like this one. If running your real numbers sounds useful, the membership is the door to all of it, and the link is below. It is where the people serious about this stuff hang out and where the calculators live. If this was useful, 2 videos will take it further. The first digs into why so many high earners are somehow still broke. Proof that the levers we just covered matter more than the size of the paycheck. The second covers the high income skills you can actually build to pull that contribution lever harder. Both are on screen now. Keep feeding the machine, and I will see you in the next one.